Yes, so my people, today we're talking about vision. I was on Instagram and I saw a video of Jeff Bezos and he was on a TV talk show and they were laughing at him because Amazon wasn't in profit. It was losing money essentially. And I thought to myself, wow, well, now Jeff Bezos is one of the wealthiest men in the world, but it's just the fact that at the time, he clearly could see something that everyone else couldn't see. And that's the power of having a vision. And unfortunately, sometimes not everyone is gonna understand, not everyone's gonna believe in it, and people might laugh. So, an example for this is in the Bible, Joseph. And he had a dream. So in the vision, he saw that his family were bowing down to him essentially. And his parents were like, that's ridiculous. Like, we're not going to do that. He told his brothers basically got jealous and they wanted to kill him. So they eventually sold him off into slavery. But that's an example of even your family sometimes, your closest people, the ones you don't expect. They may not always understand your vision. So when I started filming, I told my parents, they didn't really understand. My friends thought it was cool, but they still didn't really get it either. Because at the time I started, like, YouTube wasn't really that big and it wasn't quite clear what the career path could be for a videographer or a creator. People thought it was okay, but they didn't really understand. And I had to have the vision to see myself doing this thing, even if no one else believed in me. And that's what I did. Now, that isn't easy because you're literally going against the grain. So you have to have a lot of resolve, and you have to be willing to pursue what you're doing, even at times when it's lonely. It's dangerous wasting time trying to explain to people your vision. You can tell people once or twice, but if they still don't get it, you don't have to waste time trying to convince them to believe in something that you can see. They just can't see it. And that's okay. And you have to not feel guilty if it means you have to move on without them. So let me show you an example of how dangerous it is to be around people that don't see the vision. So in the Bible, the children of Israel, they're at the border just before you go into the promised land. Moses sends 12 spies into the land to scout the land, right? So they go in, they spend about 40 days there, they come back, and they all give a great report saying, yeah, the land has all this stuff, it's great, it's beautiful. But 10 of them said, yeah, there's giants in the land and we are like grasshoppers. We're too small to defeat these giants. So we ain't going in. However, Joshua and Caleb, two of the spies that went in, said, we can do it. Like, we're more than able. The same God that brought us out of Egypt, that parted the sea, he can get us into this promised land. But the 10 convinced everyone else, nah, we ain't going. And because of that, they had to wander around the wilderness for another 40 years, like 40 years. And Joshua and Caleb had to stay with them. They had to suffer 40 years because everyone else didn't believe. So it's important to get around people who can see your vision, even if it's one person. If, however, unfortunately, you can't find anyone, you're gonna have to do it alone. And that's just the reality of it. I remember I was 16. I had to just keep going regardless of if anyone understood what I was doing. So my question to you in this video is, what is the vision for your life? Maybe you want to be the first one in your family to go to university. Maybe you want to move to a new city. Maybe you want to get married. Maybe you want to be a filmmaker. Whatever your vision is, you need to have one. It's better to have something than nothing. And don't get me wrong, like, your vision will not necessarily be the same. Like, the stuff I wanted in the beginning is totally different from the stuff I want now. Because as you grow and you mature and you learn, you get wiser, things change and your vision can evolve. If you don't have a clear vision for your life at the moment, that's okay, because I wasn't clear. And it took years to really develop and understand what I wanted. But if you're not clear, I would recommend two things. One, pray. Ask God and say, God, can you reveal to me what your vision is for my life? Because ultimately he created you and he knows what's best for you. So spend time in prayer. And number two, I would say spend some time really thinking, reflecting on what it is you want from life and write it down. You'll be surprised on what you actually come up with. But yeah, I just thought it was funny how I saw Jeff Bezos and everyone's laughing at him and I was like, wow, look at that. Like, they had no idea who they're talking to. But yeah, if you're finding these videos useful, please like, comment, subscribe. The usual YouTube stuff. It helps with the algorithm. But yeah, leave a comment about the vision you have for your life. It'll be good to chat in the comments. I will see you in the next video.